Hello. Yes, good afternoon, everybody. Hello. Yes, good afternoon, everybody. Let's look at a profitable strategy. This is something which I've been observing for some times now, and I think it's something worth noting. It's just an observation which is very useful. It's useful on lesser time frames. You could use it on 15 minutes time frame, or you may also use it on 5 minutes time frame, or you may use it on 30 minutes time frame, depending on how flexible you are. But I do recommend you use it on a very lesser time frames. I looked at something like this before, but then I didn't mention some other things which are attached to the same thing. So today is just an extension of what I looked at. So I'm going to start by first mentioning what I had before, what we talked about before in the previous webinar, and then I'll build it from there so that at least we input other things other than the ones that we already know about the same thing. So what we have here, the thing is, most people just are interested in where the price is going, but not entirely what the price is doing. So most of us are interested in where the price is going. We want to know that the price is going upwards or the price is going downwards, but we are not interested in details on what the price is specifically doing. So that's one thing that's where most of us go wrong, that we are not specifically looking at in places or strictly what the price is doing. So this webinar, we're going to look at some elements of price that you're supposed to look at. The first thing which is very useful when you're trading is when you're going to use this size, you have to know how to identify the correct highs and the correct lows. That's the first thing. So if you don't know how to identify the correct highs or the correct lows, you can just come here, go to insert, and then indicators. Sorry, you may go to your list of indicators and then just add this indicator. Just add the zigzag indicator. This, you add it with the default settings. If you don't have your own settings, you can just add it with the default settings and the lows. You can use that highs, or you can, if you can learn that, you can learn how to identify the highs and lows without using this indicator here. But the best way will be to use an indicator which is very standard, or if you have a way of identifying the highs and lows in a manner that is very standard, then you may want to use that way to identify the highs and the lows. So there is another way is you may want to pick the previous day's highest high and the previous day's lowest low. If you can't find the best way to find the highest highs or the highest low, pick the previous day's highest high or the previous day's lowest low, or pick the previous 4 candles highest highs or the previous 4 hours candle lowest low. So personally, I work with the daily highest high and the daily lowest low. So we'll do that. We'll pick an example of yesterday here. Then it went as high at this point here. It went down, then came up and ended somewhere here. So your job will be to pick this high, this low, and then you also pick this high. Then you highlight them in a manner that if the price detects uses them in the future, you are able to use them. That's the next day now. So we'll highlight something like this, and then we'll also highlight something like this. The reason this is necessary is because anytime the price breaks above the previous day's highest high, or it breaks below the previous day's lowest low, the price tends to come back to the same point before closing up on the opposite direction. So like something like this, if we have the price open here, it has gone as high as this point, it has come down and closed below where it opened, and this is a lower low. This is where most of us don't get the whole thing correct. Once you have a zone like this one, or you have a zone like this one, the best thing to do is to quickly go down to a lesser time, like 5 minutes time frame, and then figure out how the price is using that level. Like normally when the price hits such a level, it tends to consolidate. Like you will see something like this. Look at how nicely this was a good place. Look at this, and then look at this also. So we have like a resistance here, we have a resistance, we have a resistance, and we have a resistance here. You can see that the price has gone below this low here. Then it has attempted to return back with this indecision candle before eventually heading short. So if you remember what I mentioned some few days ago, I did say that it was actually some months ago, I talked about this, where I said that if the price breaks above a level, then the next candle is indecision. That's a sign that we are now continuing in that direction. So if the price breaks below a level and the next candle is this one, it's always a good sign that the price is continuing in that direction. And if for some reasons the price breaks above a level, then the next candle is indecision. That is always a sign that we're now continuing in that direction. So you're supposed to keep looking for more buy positions, especially after that breakout. Does that make sense? It should make a lot of sense, because anytime you have